Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. White House officials issued gag order on health experts on coronavirus outbreak. The Washington Post wrote today, Thursday, February 24, 2019, that the White House official staff has issued a gag order against health experts releasing information without it going through Mike Pence first concerning the coronavirus outbreak. I want to say thank you for stopping in for another edition of Real Talk News. I'm your host, CJ. Isn't that quite interesting that the White House is issuing a gag order on health experts concerning the coronavirus outbreak? Guys, you need to stock up. Go to the stores, get what you can, get all the emergency food kits you can get, whether it be online. A lot of suppliers are running out, but some are still available. Some grocery outlets such as Winco Foods sells emergency food kits. Costco has been sold out online on their emergency kits, on their online sales for Costco wholesale. Time is running out, people. Just today, it shook the nation that 8,400 cases have been confirmed in the state of California. That was reported by APP. Thursday, June 24, 2019, 8,400 confirmed cases in the state of California. And just a day prior, the Sacramento Bee put an article out saying that there's one confirmed case in Northern California that the CDC waited 4 days to test because they didn't know where the person was, so they claim, or how they contracted the virus, as they claim. From day one, the CDC has been behind this, deceiving the people, spreading disinfo, lies, and propaganda. As I mentioned in my previous video, earlier in the week, the CDC released a statement stating that, in the first paragraph of their own word, that person-to-person contact was not an issue. It cannot be done. But as you read through the document, down to the little paragraphs, they contradict themselves and said person-to-person contact must continue to spread. You know, I've heard some people say that they're incompetent and then they get new staff. Whether that is to be the case, they're still spreading lies and disinfo. I hope you looked up the information I gave in the video the other day, where the CDC has every known virus known to man in their facilities, from the most deadly to the common cold, where they're incubated and weaponized. It's go time, people. This is the fight for our lives. And the best thing to do is to keep hope that we can get through this. Now, I can't predict the future. I cannot predict the outcome of this. But it does look grim. But you gotta keep hope. We're in a very dire and grave situation. Supply chains have been cut off in Italy and other parts of the world. People waiting in lines at the store with empty shelves and empty shopping baskets because the supply chain has been cut off. The goods that they need were not delivered to them due to this virus outbreak. And since the beginning of the month, you can go to militarytimes.com. NORCOM has issued the contingency plan for the global outbreak pandemic scenario. And that was written and released February 2nd of this month. So, for 22 days, the United States military has been prepping, getting things in order, getting their checks and balances and their list checked off to go after the people who may or may not have this virus and be thrown into quarantine zones. And some of them have the orders to kill on sight. Part of the contingency plan entails in an environment, in a scenario just like this, that they have the orders to shoot to kill. You gotta imagine how many military are going to follow that order. Definitely those that are aligned with the Democrat Party, that follow their ideology and their way of life. I'm not sure if any of you have had the chance to check out the videos that have been posted on Twitter concerning the outbreak in China. But they've been released. And I'll tell you, it's terrifying of how they handle their own over there. Yes, it's controlled by the Communist Chinese government behind every second and inch of it for what's to be released and not released. They have such a stronghold. But these videos have been broadcasted for the world to know of what horror awaits the Chinese people there. They got goon squads rounding people up, throwing them in quarantine zones. And those that they don't round up, whatever building people are in, whether it be a hospital, a residential, or a business, they will have the door shut. Who knows how many people could be inside those buildings when these doors are being welded shut. They have incinerators to throw the bodies into. Portable incinerators to line along the streets. They spray the streets with deadly toxin, so-called antibacterial chemical agent. Every inch of that. Several Chinese provinces have been sprayed with this by autonomous drones and robots. If you haven't seen what's going on, you need to check them out. Hopefully it will get you to wake up and snap out of it and realize the severity of what's taking place here. Because the goon squads will come. They'll be sent to your door. They'll be there to round you up and snatch you out of your house. Doesn't matter what time of the hour of the day it is, or what day of the week or month it is. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They will snatch you out. But here's the thing. You do not let them snatch you out. If they come and take you, you fight back. You push back. But in the meantime, until that moment comes, prepare with food, water, medical supplies, from painkillers, natural herbs and supplements, to first aid. You also get your protection list and checked and balances in order. Guns, ammo, knives, bats, axes, hatchets. Anything that would cause a blunt force wound upon impact. If you can't get those, tools will work too. A heavy wrench or a hammer. Pipe wrench will do the job just fine as well. Just as long as you can lay one out when they come and try and snatch you. Now, I'm not advocating, I'm not saying to do it, but when that moment comes, do it. But don't willingly go out there and cause havoc and destruction. You let them to your doorstep. And you try to suppress in your hardest to keep a cool, calm, collected head. Keep yourself in control as much as you can, and along with your family. You know, the president released a statement in a press conference yesterday. And during his press conference, he had mentioned that we have the situation under control. Count on us. Rely on us. Remain calm. Well, here's something. Whenever a government official, doesn't matter if it's at the local, state, or the national level, when they say, be calm, be orderly, don't worry, don't panic, you do the opposite, but you do it when the time is right. This is fight or flight, ladies and gentlemen. Our lives depend on it. The gulags are gonna come. They're gonna snatch you up. They'll separate families. Men, women, children, old, young, it doesn't matter. Husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends. They don't care. They will come get you. Hope you're hearing me. I really hope you do. And at the top of the list, if you have never had the thought or inclination to believe in God, you might want to start doing so now. And once you start believing in God, ask His Son to forgive you of your sins. Become a Christian. But that's on you. So this, like I said before, this thing is a bioweapon. It's made to circumvent and bypass security and known health precautions and enforcements. That's why it spreads so rapidly. And now, I picked this up from a video the other day and I saved the article, and there's a complete PDF that I'm going to break down and do a video on. How this virus is every nasty, deadly thing you could think of concocted in one little cocktail. The official name for the COVID virus is COVID-19-SARS-2. Before, this is just known as the coronavirus. But the official title that the CDC has given it, they released a statement Thursday, February 24th, 2019. That is official name. It has the name SARS in there. Interesting. Why would they include SARS in there? In this virus? any kind of affiliation with it. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Don't you think? Because of the simple fact that it contains the SARS protocol and pathogen in it. Other pathogens that are included with this is the HIV/AIDS virus. Write this down. During the press conference, shortly thereafter, Mike Pence got in touch with the top AIDS official. Now, why would that be then? Because it contains a portion of the HIV/AIDS virus in the pathogen itself. You need to be ready, folks. If you gotta pull your kids out of school, do so. If you gotta take some time off work, do so. Now, a quick little breakdown when it comes to protecting your home. Make sure at first you have proper ventilation and filtration access. Put a schematic together to come up with a ventilation system that has a filter in it. If you have central air in your home, or if you live in an apartment, find a way to make it breathable but clean. The other thing you're going to want to do is tape off any doors or windows. They'll leave a gap and leave outside air, allowing you into the home. And if you have to go that route, try to find a way to ventilate that as well. So you get some fresh air in there, but it's ventilated and filtered out. Because you're not going to want to go to the quarantine zone. It is a hotbed breeding zone for this virus. Hell, a flight attendant was on a flight from South Korea to LAX on Wednesday, and she infected the entire plane because she flew from South Korea, transferred from one flight to another back to LAX from South Korea. Now, mind you, even before this became an issue or an outbreak, World Travel was sending out 400 planes a day throughout the winter months in December and January. 400 flights a day traveling around the world. And that's a minimum. Make sure you also stock up on hydrogen peroxide. Get plenty of that. You're going to want to find a way to intake it into your body, but within a minimal time frame, because it is an inflammatory substance. Swish it on your mouth. Breathe in the vapors under your nose a little bit. But once you have it in your mouth, spit it out quickly. Once you've done the rest, I say a 15-second rinse in your mouth. Because if you keep it in longer, it'll inflame. Try to pick up on antibacterial soaps and hand washes. Go to a medical supply outlet where they sell medical supplies to the general public. Ask a nurse or a medical professional where do they go to get their gear at, and 50% of the time they'll probably say, "Hey, I go to the store right down the street." You can probably walk in there, pick some things up, and be okay. You don't have to be a medical professional or show your license or anything like that. I don't think you do, but if you do, have that person go with you. But there's retail outlets where, other than the hospital, where you can pick up, or your local department store where they have hospital grade gear that you can pick up. It's a ticking time bomb, people, and you got to get ready. See, the White House knows everything about this. So does every other government involved. And those that will be involved. And this thing will mutate. Like I said, this will turn out to be your worst nightmare you've ever seen in your living days of your life. All those horror gore films where you see the dead walking, from Resident Evil to The Walking Dead. It has Ebola-like qualities. It shreds from the inside internally instead of externally. You'll bleed internally. Ebola, you bleed out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have for now. Be safe. If you can, keep a cool, calm, collected head. Get right with God. Confess your sins. Accept them into your heart. Become a Christian. That's your choice. But it's going to be in your best interest if you do. God bless. Until next time.